I'm excited to introduce Genevieve Sparby. She has an amazing program for medical and spa professionals and businesses all across the United States to help them really grow their companies. Your background is so interesting because you bridge medical and really, really high-end luxury properties, and you really have found a way to help these startups or established businesses get more aligned with achieving their goals.
I had a background in healthcare business consulting, management consulting, and then I moved on to operating luxury spa properties. I went back to business school and I had a dermatologist friend ask me if they would come let me take a look at their business and have me evaluate it. And at the time I was dabbling with other things because of business school, but once I finally came and took a look at her business, and I saw how much opportunity there was. If we just put some good systems in place, help put in a good culture, help figure out how we have an amazing client experience, then we did this huge transformation for her dermatology practice and medical spa. After I worked there for a little over a couple years, we quadrupled her revenue in that time and tripled her profit margin. So we had, amazing results, and it was really by going in and putting in a systematic method of how we run the business.
How do you kind of start to work with people?
So for the past 6 years, I have been doing consulting. I developed my program so that I could actually teach the leaders, the practice manager, the spa manager, the physicians, the owners. I can teach the leadership how to fish for themselves and how to put all these great practices into place themselves and keep them and sustain them. We really focus on what's your vision for this company? What are your 10-year, 3-year, 1-year goals? And then we start breaking them down from there. They might think a couple of months down the road, but they don't really sit down and dream really big for their company and think about, where do I really want to be in 10 years? Like, how big could I make this? So I see the light kind of come back into their eyes, like they get excited again about their business, and that's the kind of energy I want to help foster and funnel.
What's similar between some of the challenges you might see at the hotel and you would see also in a dermatology practice or in a spa? Is it the same kinds of things, just different sizes?
Exactly, you're right. They have the same issues as far as figuring out how to create that cohesive team, how to create this amazing 5-star environment, what that means, how you train your staff in order to deliver that level of excellence, having systems in place to keep people accountable to delivering that level of excellence, creating a very consistent environment in how you treat your staff, how you treat your clients, how you have meetings, being very consistent with all of that. It's a lot of basic business. I like to call it getting into an operational rhythm, how you operate every day, every week. And so your team comes to expect that. And then that's what decreases all the fires, because we know how to handle every situation. We have systems in place. So things start to get into a nice rhythm. Then you just start to have that freedom. My program, it's called Advanced Acceleration. And what I do is I give them a set of tools to create this holistic, systematic environment. They learn something called TEMPO principle. That's what I call it. And TEMPO stands for team, experience, marketing, performance metrics, and operations. I give them industry benchmarks for like what, as a percentage of revenue, what they really should be spending on all those expenses. So I have benchmarks for each different expense category, so they can kind of get a sense of where they're overspending, and also like for marketing, how much they should be spending on marketing. And I also go into what stage of business you're in. So if you're a newer business, you probably need a higher marketing expense budget versus if you're pretty established and you just want to do, a few programs and maintain your social media and that sort of thing, you can have a much smaller percentage of your budget focused on marketing.
So I started with a skincare clinic and then a second location, and I was so young. I was in my 20s. I didn't know what I was doing. Cash was coming in this pocket, going out that pocket. My employees were, who knows? We had theft. I had so much going on. My business didn't, it really wasn't a sustainable model. And that's probably why I sold it, because intuitively I knew I didn't have the tools. It's great for people to get on your program when they're established, but when you're just starting out, no matter what type of business.
I'm trying to launch it as a full program versus just a course. It would be 6 months where they would go through a course, an online course, where they'd also meet with me at least twice a month. where I would hold them accountable. So I would make sure they're going through the course, and I would ask them questions, and I'd answer whatever questions they have. And then I have what I call accountability assignments, where at the end of a module pretty much is when they would turn in some kind of assignment showing me that they have completed the module, they understand it, and they're ready to implement that into their business. I bookend the entire program with 2 modules on leadership, one at the beginning and one at the end. And so that is kind of the pervasive tone, is that you are the leader and you need to set this foundation and you need to keep it going. So at the beginning, it's a lot about your mission and vision and core values and your goals. And at the end, it's a lot about making sure you're holding your team accountable, creating that consistency, developing all the systems in your operations, and keeping everything moving forward. And I actually even have a planner for them that's customized for this industry, and it goes with my program. And so it's something that they can use to organize themselves in their work from day to day, month to month, and keep themselves accountable, even beyond working with me. It's a 6-month program. They get 2 calls with me every month. And then I will do a quarterly checkup on them at the next quarter, and I'll do an annual checkup call with them as well to see how things are going and make sure everything's on track. I wanted to give people the right amount of time. Instead of just pushing a course, I really want to sell it as a program, the 6-month program. I think that people will get better results that way. And that's what I want to see. I launched the program only twice a year because I only take a set number of practices. Since I work with them one-on-one, I like to keep it a small, manageable number where I can give really high service to them. You can come to my website. It's www.aesthetics with an A, aestheticsaccelerator.com. And if you do Aesthetics Accelerator /tools, there is a waiting list. At the top, you can get on, you can put your name on the waiting list if you're interested in the program. But you can also find me on Instagram at Aesthetics Accelerator, or I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm kind of all over the place. On my website, I do 20-minute complimentary consultations. If people just, they want to talk to me a little bit more about the program, not sure if it's the right fit for them, or, if they want to talk a little bit about their unique problems, I can do a 20-minute consult complimentary with any folks that want to chat.
I would say anybody listening, you feel like you're alone out there and you really need to get focused and you really need an ally and a coach and a support and a program that's very systematic to guide you along, then I would encourage you to connect with Genevieve and not be alone. Like, we don't have to do this alone. I mean, I think that's so important, that you don't have to grow your business all by yourself.
In order to develop a really resilient business, I think it's creating these systems in place as a leader, having routine leadership meetings, getting to the bottom of the issues that you have in your business and not being afraid to spotlight them, not being afraid to go deep, figure them out, and then resolve them once and for all. And then having a systematic way of addressing initiatives and opportunities that you see coming your way and new things that you want to put into the practice. Having a way of figuring out how you're going to do that so that you're not overwhelmed, and that you do it in a way that your team can absorb all that change and you set yourself up for success.
I'm thrilled to know you, and I think your program is so exciting that you're offering it now outside of Michigan. Thank you so much for your wise words.